Hi friends, recently the central government has proposed a common entrance test for competitive examinations at the central level. This proposed test is called CET or the Common Eligibility Test. This is going to be conducted by a central level recruitment agency called NRA or National Recruitment Agency. In this video, we are going to look into the general scheme of CET, the advantages or the merits of CET, and any disadvantages and demerits of CET. As of now, the government proposes to conduct the CET for three broad categories of examinations: railways, banking, as well as SSC examinations. Similarly, the CET is going to be conducted initially for Group B and Group C examinations at the central level. So as of now, there is no proposal to conduct CET for central level Group A services as well as all India services like IAS and IPS. Here, central level government jobs refer to banking, railways, SSC jobs, as well as public sector unit jobs also. So this is the basic scheme of CET. CET would be a common entrance test at the basic level, or we can call this as a preliminary examination. So a candidate has to pass this preliminary examination. Once he or she passes, then he or she has to take the next level of the examination that will be conducted by the respective agencies. For example, railways or IBPS. Now, let's take a look at the merits or the advantages of CET. If you take a look at the job scenario in India, for the bulk of the Group B and Group C examinations at the central level. So this is actually the bulk of the jobs. Here, around 200 candidates are applying for a single vacancy. So we have that much competition in India. So for conducting all these jobs, lot of manpower, energy, resources and money is being spent by the government. So if you conduct a common preliminary examination, this would largely reduce the manpower, resource as well as the money. So basically, I see this as a rationalization measure. So this is the first merit. Secondly, the CET will definitely reduce the burden of students because the students have to spend money for each and every examination. So they are spending fee for this examination. Now if you conduct a common eligibility test at the preliminary level, they need not apply for each and every examination separately. For example, for banking jobs, the student will apply under IPPS. Similarly, they will apply separately under SSC. Now this financial burden will reduce. Secondly, other associated expenses like travel, boarding, lodging. So this will also get reduced because many candidates they will have to travel to cities and towns for taking this examination. Specifically, women candidates and rural candidates will benefit a lot from this examination. Always remember, only the first round would be common. Later, they have to attend the later stages of the examination. Next merit, the CET proposes an examination center in each district. This is also a welcome move. So once again, this is a great economic inclusion, job inclusion. So a candidate need not travel to other places. He or she can take the examination within his or her own district. Next merit, CET proposes upper age limit. Within the upper age limit for the examination, the candidate can take unlimited attempts. So once again, this is a welcome move. Next merit, this is a welcome move. Everybody should appreciate this. The CET proposes conduct of the examination in 12 languages out of 22 recognized languages in our Indian constitution. Generally, there is a grievance among non-English medium as well as non-Hindi medium candidates. They generally feel marginalized because most of the central level examinations are conducted in the two official languages of English as well as Hindi. So generally they feel marginalized, especially the South Indian and West Indian students as well as the Northeast students also. So now if the examination is conducted in 12 languages, it is a form of inclusion. I see this as a great boost for federalism in India. So now the candidates from all around India will get benefited. The government has also proposed that in future this will be extended to all 22 recognized languages in India. So in future tribal languages will also be included. So students from all states and regions of India will benefit. We all should appreciate this particular move of the government. Next merit. The scores of CET would be valid for 3 years. Within this 3 years, the candidate can take multiple tests also and can secure the best score. So the government will recognize the highest score. So this is a great advantage. Apart from this, there is a flexibility here. So within the 3 years, the candidate can take up the next stage of the examination whenever he or she feels it is comfortable. Generally, some candidates, they may be working in the private sector. Immediately after clearing the first stage, he or she will have to study for the second stage. He or she may even quit the job. So here they are bringing in the flexibility. So there is a 3-year period. The candidate can use the score within the 3-year period. He or she can use the score for applying for the next stage of examination for any other agency also. Within this, there is a huge advantage which I would like to point out. Here this eliminates the luck factor. If the examination is conducted in only a particular year, there can be a luck factor. The difficulty of the examination may be more or less. The trend of the questions may also change. So here luck factor may play here. Now with the facility of taking multiple examinations and securing the best possible score, the luck factor has been eliminated. I personally appreciate this move. Next merit. The scores obtained under CET can be used by the state level recruitment agency also. For example, the state level public service commissions as well as private agencies or companies. The public sector units can also make use of CET as a benchmark score. So these are all the merits of CET. Now let's take a look at some demerits or some negatives of CET. CET boasts itself as a move that brings in transparency into the examinations, because this will be an online test, application, conduct of examination, everything would be online. At the same time, the digital space is a double-edged sword. There is no guarantee that online test would be safe and secure. There would be transparency and accountability in the examination. If a candidate takes a written test, at least there is some form of evidence. There would be a fingerprint. The candidate will remember how he or she has written the examination. But if it is conducted as an online examination, once again transparency becomes a big question. There may be a possibility of tinkering with the scores also, in case it is not being conducted in a transparent and accountability in an accountable manner. So once again transparency becomes a big question here. Secondly, the question of equality and inclusion. Mainly rural candidates, they don't have the facilities in the rural areas. They may not have the required number of centers to take the examination. They may not have the facilities to apply for the examination also. So digital inclusion is a main factor as far as CET is concerned. Another demerit. There may be a tendency for centralization, because CET proposes that the CET scores can be used by state level recruitment agencies as well as private sector also. Here, for example, the private sector companies, they may use CET as a reference score. So in future, there is a heavy case of centralization. The private sector jobs within each state and UT in India, the requirement, the knowledge, skill and other requirement will vary. In case the private agencies are demanding for CET scores in future, once again, the question of centralization comes into play. Here, the creativity, innovation and the diverse knowledge, this also becomes a question here. Education comes under the concurrent list. Job is nothing but the next level of education. So here, the requirement of the individual states, the requirement of the private sector should be taken into account. So we should not allow the CET to become a case of centralization in future. There is also another problem here. In case state level recruitment agencies are demanding for CET scores for their own recruitment, here also the question of creativity, innovation and the requirement of knowledge and skills for the specific state level recruitment becomes a question here. Some states may abdicate their role also. They probably won't take the responsibility for conducting the test at the state level. They may just ask for the CET scores. Please go and take the CET as a preliminary examination. Then you take a separate mains examination at the state level. So here there is a risk of states abdicating their role and responsibility here. I see this as a big risk. Lastly, the homogenization of skills, knowledge, soft skills and other factors. This is also a negative here. Like I said, the private sector, the private companies, the PSU companies, state level recruitment agencies may start demanding for CET scores in future. In an era of liberalization and globalization, homogenization of skills and knowledge is a retrogressive measure. It is a retrogressive move. As far as possible, there should be decentralization. Even within the states, the state governments, the recruitment agencies should go for multiple recruitment based on the specific knowledge and skill set for the specific domain and jobs. Now with CET, there could be a case wherein the state level agencies may demand for CET score. So this may prove as a demerit in future. So we have gone through the general scheme of CET, the merits as well as demerits of CET. I hope this video is helpful to everybody. Thank you.